The aim of this book is to get as much useful runic information in one place as possible. This is primarily for the benefit of the novice. Until I began compiling the notes that were to become this book, I would use up to 5 different sources in my quest to discover the most accurate interpretation of the runecast. As can be expected from such disorganized behavior, sometimes an answer would be realized and sometimes not. Flipping through reams of information is not conducive in the least bit to gaining a true inner meaning of the runes in question. This was the period in my runic development in which I learned that you cannot accurately divine from a book. Not this book, not any book. Books are simply tools to help us get started and to stimulate our minds to seek further and learn for ourselves. It is truly unfortunate for our studies that we are born in the 20th century instead of, say, the 6th. Were we living in the 6th century, we could have been taught orally by our village shaman. The shaman was the high priest and magician of his people. To him fell the responsibility of making certain all the crops grew, the hunts were successful, and the women were fertile. He also held the mysteries of the runes. With the runes he could bless and curse, hurt and heal. He could also divine, and it was for this ability that he was much in demand by all, chieftains and peasants alike. It must be remembered that the runes were mysteries to these people in every sense of the word. They were forces, secret allies that the knowledgeable could use for many purposes. Their magical use was entrusted to the very few, and the knowledge was never written down for the eyes of the perhaps unworthy. All information was transmitted by mouth and learned by heart. Through diligent study and proper use, the runes could help you become closer to the gods and aid you in ordinary day-to-day living. There were runes to influence the weather, to aid the crops, and to heal the sick. Runes were carved on many items: weapons, drinking horns, spears, the prows of ships, and the timbers of the houses. Each had its own combination of runes, usually for luck and protection. The runes were an important part of the lives of these people, and they drew a certain comfort from seeing their powerful symbols on even the homeliest of objects. In fact, what we call the Tudor or half-timbered building style has evolved from the Germanic fachwerk, half-timbered architecture. The placing of the timbers at angles in the plaster was originally done in such a way as to form a specific rune shape. This shape was then believed to impart its power and magical significance to the building itself, with the building passing it on to the people living inside. Although the architects of today do not concern themselves with the magical qualities of their structures, it is still possible to discern some runes in the timbers of modern homes. This is a fun thing to do if you happen to pass such a house, and it is also a good exercise in familiarizing yourself with the rune symbols.